New internal DHS data reveals 45 U.S. cities that hundreds of thousands of migrants have flown into via the Biden administration's controversial CHNV mass parole program. It shows that the top 15 cities that migrants were flown into on your tax dollar, on our airlines, which you got to take your shoes off. They got to know. I mean, come on over here. Yeah, every third person we do a rectal exam. Yeah. And now we're just flying these people without knowing really who they are, doing it in the middle of the night. Now, these aren't the people who came across the border. These are the ones that the United States government went out to and said, hey, is anybody a refugee? If you're a refugee, I got free tickets to America. So the top 15 cities, Miami, Florida, 91,000 people were flown in from January through August 2023. 8 months. 8 months. Miami, Florida, 91,000. Fort Lauderdale, which is the same city. I mean, it's Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I used to live in Fort Lauderdale. It's part of Miami. It's a little bit of a drive to Miami, but it's one big. It's like Dallas, Fort Worth. Right. It's a couple cities that are close to each other.
Okay, so Fort Lauderdale got 60,000, and then New York City is number 3. They got 14,000. Oh, wait a minute. Wow, that's quite a spread there. So they get 150,000 just in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and then 14,000 in New York. Houston.
And think about what Eric Adams has said.
Oh, I know.
Like, I mean, they're overrunning our communities. We can't do anything. And like, half the cities on this list are in one state. And New York City can't handle this?
Yeah, they got 14,000. Then Houston got 8,000. Orlando got 6,000, so another Florida. Los Angeles, 3. Tampa, another Florida, 3,200. Dallas, Texas, is 2,200. San Francisco, 2,000. Atlanta, 2,000. Newark, New Jersey. I mean,
people love Newark.
If you're like in some other place, I don't care if they're torturing you, and they say, "You want to come to the United States?" Sure. Where am I headed? Newark, New Jersey. Nah, I'm going to hang out.
I'm good.
I'm good. Put me back on the rack. It was false alarm. False alarm. I'm not going anywhere.
Wait, how are these decisions made?
What do you mean?
Do you know, like if you are someone coming in, you're an illegal immigrant, you're on this parole program, and you come in, they're like, do they say, hey, do they have like flyers, come visit Orlando out there, and you just like look through them until you pick one? Do they just assign a city to you? Is it wherever your relatives are?
I don't know. It's taken us forever to get just this information.
I know. It's true. I mean, it could be that just these people are like, look, I don't want to go to Newark, so I'm going to pick Tampa or Orlando or Miami or Fort Lauderdale. I mean, my guess is they're like, well, do you know anyone who lives here? Yeah, my brother lives in Miami. And so they're flying them to Miami. I don't know. But I mean, regardless, wouldn't the opposite be obvious if you were honest here? If you're the Biden administration, you keep telling everyone that people in the South and the red states hate immigrants. They're racist. They're xenophobes. They don't have any programs for them. So why would you continue to keep bringing them to Florida and Texas? Why? Wouldn't you bring them to the cities that have all these wonderful programs that you've passed? Why not?
Well, unless you're trying to make sure that you fly them into a city like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, that's usually run by Democrats, and you can have them vote.
And it's not run currently by Democrats, which is
Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Miami is a Republican mayor. Remember, he ran for a very short time, ran for president.
I don't remember that. It was very short.
It was very short.
Very short.
But I mean, unless you have enemies in red states and you realize that what you're doing is a punishment, right? The same kind of thing that, Greg Abbott did here in Texas and said, well, you know what? We're going to send these people up to you guys. You guys deal with them. Because we're being honest about it here. This is a strain on your society. And so we shouldn't be responsible for them because we want them to be stopped before they come in. right? All these other people are saying, you're welcoming. We're welcoming you here. We want you to come here. You'll always be welcome in New York City. I don't know if that one's expired, but that's what Eric Adams was saying when he was running for election.
San Francisco,
all these things. I mean, we went through and found all the quotes from these mayors, all of them welcomed with open arms illegal immigrants and invited them to come. And now when they actually show up, they realize what the situation is. You're taking a bunch of people who have no current path to earn enough to house themselves, to feed themselves, to give themselves basic humanitarian aid. And then you're going to put that on the state or local communities.
Imagine your city, no matter how large you are, you have an influx of 150,000 people. Where are those jobs? Where are the jobs for those people? You don't have a deficit of 150,000 employees.
Where do they work?
Where are they working? Where are they working? By the way, a recent Pew poll found that nearly 2/3 of Americans have little or no confidence that Joe Biden is physically fit to be president. That's 2/3. When you're talking about the immigration thing, 80% of America wants them to be sent back home. Okay? They're starting to get quite intense on the immigration thing. That's Republicans and Democrats. Everybody knows that the economy is in flames. Again, 2/3 have little or no confidence that Joe Biden is even physically fit to be president. What the hell? How is this so close? How is this so close? It doesn't make sense.
People are not making judgments based on what's in front of them.
No, they're not.
I mean, it's just there are these partisan lanes you get in, and it's impossible to escape them for, I don't know, what, 80% of people at this point? I mean, we'd like to think that it's some rare thing, but it's pretty much everybody who looks at this and doesn't seem to be spending any time making this decision. Right. The decision was made for them years ago, decades ago, and they're just going in and checking the boxes.
I mean, yes, he has mean tweets, but you had a job. We had a country. I mean, yeah, but I know those mean tweets are really, really horrible.